Hi everyone, my name is Bima Sapkota. I am a doctoral student in mathematics education at Purdue. This video is specifically targeted to those parents who have teenager kids studying in high school. However, all the parents who want to help their child with math learning can be benefited equally by this video. Talking about teenagers, researchers have shown that teenage is person's most exciting but equally stressful phase of life. Specifically, teenagers worry about their grades and performance in different subjects, including maths. In this video, I will show as a parent how can you help your child to overcome the stress related to math learning. You saw the name of Smith here. Yeah. I have prepared this video based on what I noticed by the observation of a 15 years old 9th grader's performance in geometry and algebra. And the name of that 15 graders old 9th grader is Smith. Actually, his name was different, but for the sake of keeping his name anonymous, I will call him by Smith in this video. In this video, I will offer three things. First of all, I will simply demonstrate what I noticed from Smith's performance in math assessment, specifically in algebra and geometry. And second one is that how can you help with your children if they have the same difficulty, same learning difficulty as Smith has. And third one is that after helping them, what can you expect in terms of their improvement in maths performance or maths learning. The first thing I noticed about Smith's performance is related to geometry, and he struggled really to represent his answer correctly. Many times here I have presented one example. In this example, he was supposed to write the exterior angle inequality, not equation. But initially, he wrote here equation. He has represented the relationship of these three angles. Of course, exterior angle theorem says the relationship of these three angles, but inequality does not say this equal to sign and this thing. Rather, it says this one, this second one. Yes, he wrote this one after when teacher stopped nearby and told him, "Oh, this is inequality." Then he realized and changed. That means, yes, he of course has conceptual knowledge, but he didn't pay attention on the words inequality and equation. That's why he wrote this. So this is related to the lack of mathematical precision. In fact, while mathematical precision means, or simply precision means doing and planning something very accurately and correctly, which Smith could not show. And as a parent, you can do many things about the mathematical precision. I think you are thinking now, oh, I don't know the words or phrases that are used in high school math, so how can I help with my children? But don't worry, you don't need to know all of the words. You can just help your child to make a sense of mathematical words and phrases through the very simple activities. For example, you can ask your child to grab the pencil which is longer than one that you have. That means you are focusing on what longer. And you can also ask him or her, how much longer is your pencil? Similarly, you can ask while shopping or while going to shopping mall or other grocery store. You can tell your children to select a t-shirt which has exactly same length, equal length with his previous t-shirt. So here in these two examples, you are focusing two words greater than and equal to, and later on you can tell your children to represent those words in symbol. And these are very basic things, but these will help. And Another thing that you can do is you can sit nearby your children and tell him or her to read aloud the book and ask them, or if you have only one child, ask him or her to define the word and to represent that phrase in by a symbol or to explain. And you may not be sure whether he is explaining correctly or not. For that, you can consult some of the resources such as Google, and you can help your child to consult the resources, and you can help him whether he is reading or he is using that word or phrase or symbol correctly or not. And your expectation is, before talking about your expectation, I'm anticipating some of their behaviors. Most of the times our teenagers, they don't like to be taught by their parents. They rather believe their teachers. So you can just convince them. You are not going to teach them. You are just going to help them with their difficulties. So at first, you may notice your child is not using mathematical symbol or word correctly. So, for instance, when you ask them to compare your height with his or her height, and let's say your height is 5 feet and his height is 6 feet, but he may say, "Oh, you are 1 foot taller than me." That's not correct, and you can help with those things. But continuously focusing on those things, he or she will start to make a sense of those importance of not all the words, but importance of paying attention on those words. And as I explained earlier, you may help them to read the book aloud, and that is very, very important because that helps them to make the sense of words or phrases used in their book. And even after helping with those things, if you still feel your child is not making progress in terms of mathematical precision, you can just talk to his or her math teacher and ask, how can you help with him? How can you help? And second thing I noticed is the lack of ability to connect math with the real life scenario. Here is one example or demo of his work. Is the part of this activity. He was supposed to write a definition of ratio and also provide. And the teacher asked him to write the correct. Means one real life example representing ratio. However, you can see he wrote the correct definition and of course example, but this example is not directly related to real life scenario or real life example. I noticed that was the part of classroom activity. The teacher stopped by him and asked him whether he can provide any real life example, but he could not provide. Of course, he struggled, but he could not. Oh, you can do many things to help your child to find the mathematics in real life scenario. You can simply ask your child some of the questions. For example, I wonder in what way you compare your marks in maths with your marks in science. Or you can ask him or her, I wonder how can we represent the comparison of your A's to my A's. Moreover, you can ask, I wonder how can we represent the comparison of my A's to your A's. These two sentences make him to think about the difference between A is to B is to A. And of course, these are the daily life examples. And similarly, you can ask him, I wonder if you can find the actual distance between our house and school by looking the map. This is a very good question to help your child to make a sense of ratio and proportion. So again, I want to say you don't worry. You don't know real life application of all the high school topics. But if you help your child to realize, oh, there is a math in daily life, it is everywhere, from kitchen to shop, from garden to map, math is everywhere. If they start to think or feel that, then they will of course themselves search the real life application of other mathematical topics. And you can help them to find some of the resources. One useful resource or one useful website I have presented here. It offers five high school mathematical topics which have real life application, and yes, they have explained the real life application of those high school mathematical topics. You can help your child to find this kind of websites or other resources. Third thing I noticed about Smith is his inconsistent performance in different areas of mathematics. I noticed he was extremely good in geometry, not only his test performance or his homework performance, his activities in classrooms also. I noticed his activities in classrooms also. In geometry class, he was quite active and he kept on asking questions to his teachers. But in algebra class, he was pretty passive and he didn't ask any question to his teacher. And here is the example of his performance in geometry. This is the homework which was graded, and where I'm sorry I couldn't show the full part, but here he got 9 out of 10. He did only one mistake. But talking about algebra, he didn't have very basic knowledge. It was so frustrating. See, in this equation, in fact this is wrong, and that's what he did. That's why I gave here one example. He was supposed to write here AB plus AC, but he wrote this. So he made many this kind of minor means like basic level mistake. So there may be the different reasons for the inconsistent performance, and one of the important reason is probably we find very common that some of the people, they find some mathematical topic very interesting, and for them other mathematical topics are not interesting or they find boring. So this is one of the potential reasons that for the inconsistent performance. So to help your child with that problem, at first you need to find which one is your child's favorite topic and which one is his or her hating, or like which topic he doesn't like. For that you have to do several things. First of all, you can observe him or her while doing homework. For example, you may notice he may be like overemphasizing the homework of one particular area, but you may never see the other particular area. Like you may never see him doing other areas. So also you can check his or her homework sheet and see homework sheet that is graded, and see if there is one particular area in which he has performed extremely good and in another area in which he has performed poorly. And most importantly, you can talk to your child directly and ask him which one is your favorite one. You can start with that sentence: which one is your favorite subject and why that is a favorite topic, and why that is favorite, and which one is uninteresting topic for him and why it is uninteresting. So you can ask that type of question. So once you find that your child had some of the topics, then start searching puzzles and video game related to that topic. And I'm pretty sure teenagers like and love puzzle book and video games. So one of the website that you can find the video game related to high school algebra or puzzle is this. Similarly, you can find other resources. And if you make your child play with video game and online game, then he or she will start to appreciate those means important of those mathematical topics, hopefully. And next thing is that some of the kids think that they think that one particular topic doesn't have real life application, or it is no more useful in their further learning. That's why they hate to practice those topics. If that is the case, then you need to tell them the real life application and the importance of that topic in his or her future education. So your expectation is, of course, I assume games and puzzles and the real life application of those topics make him, means those things are very good ways to motivate your child to particular mathematical topics. Okay, thank you for watching. I think this is helpful for you.